had this whole thing planned out, and I was gonna start this video yesterday, but my iPad died. Say hi. So, I mentioned in my weekly update that last week we added roughly 100 square feet to our garden space. And since then, thank you. Since then, my husband has decided to add another 100 square feet. So that means we now have, oh goodness, I'm going to do a very, very rough estimate for you at about roughly 400 square, no, because I got the other garden over there. Between 400 and 500 square feet of garden space this year. Probably about 500, because I've got another one over there and two small ones on the sides here that I kind of try to forget about. So that's actually quite a lot. And I now have 2 full-size beds that I need to plant. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put in them. The other beds are all very mixed up, and a lot of it was stuff I started early. So I have, I have kale that I started back in January. I have cabbages that I started back in January. I have tomatoes and peppers that I started back in, February something. And then beans that I planted a week ago, or no, I guess 2 weeks ago now. Peas I planted like a month ago. Carrots that went out 2 months ago, So those things are all pretty well started. But these are new beds, and it's mid-May, and I need to figure out what I'm doing. But first, today's job is just to spread some soil on top of our sand. Because even though our sand, it's sandy loam clay mixture, but like at least 80% sand. It's not terrible nutritionally speaking. It's not amazing, but it's, there's nothing wrong with it. The pH is fine and stuff. But the biggest problem with sand is that it dries out really, really easily. So I bought some big bags of the cow, whatever that is, because that was the best option I could find. Like, all of our greenhouses, garden centers, and everything are sold out of so much stuff. Because, you drive past and it is packed. Every single day. Packed. I think it was a year or two ago, we had moved here in the fall. And I wanted to get some garden beds ready and plant some garlic. And I went to my favorite little garden place, Sandy Hill Greenhouses, and I asked them, do you have any soil left over? Because it's not really the time of year to buy compost, soil, whatever. And they were like, oh yeah, we've got a whole pile of it left in the back. Just take it. It'll be old year's stock. We're closing next week for the season. It'll be old year's stock. Just take it. You don't need to pay us for it. Just take it. You need me to peel it? And this year, first week of May, I went in to see if I could get some mushroom compost, because they sell this bagged mushroom compost that's really good for a really good price. And they were like, we sold out of that 2 weeks ago. And then I was going to go last week and get just some regular garden soil to put down on top of the sand to help hold the moisture in. And I called my mom and was like, hey, you want to come with us? And she said, you're going to have to go somewhere else. I stopped there on Sunday, and they are out of everything. So we went to this big place, and they had these big, I think it's 44-liter bags of cow manure mixed with peat. So I got 6 of those to kind of spread over the top of the beds to help hold in the moisture. Obviously, it also has some nutritional benefits as well. But my main goal at this point is just to hold the moisture in so things can start growing. So I'm going to do that today, and then later I'll sit down with a cup of coffee or something. Warren, leave the potatoes alone. Pick up your banana. Thank you. And sit down with my seeds and pencil and paper and figure that out. I was considering maybe buying a couple of seed packets. I wasn't planning to buy anything this year, but we've added 200 extra square feet of bed space that I wasn't planning on having either. So that throws in a lot of other factors. I had some acorn squash seed, and the old seed wasn't very good to begin with, and it was a couple years old, and it didn't grow at all. And I had already planted out the good seed I had left from last year, and I lost all but one of those in the frost. So I might buy some more acorn squash. And for some reason, like, I had 2 different kinds of butternut, and none of that has gone at all. Like, not even like bad plants. So I don't know what's up with that. So I might get some acorn and butternut squash seed, and maybe some more carrot seed or turnips, things like that. I was reading some articles, and it's interesting. If you're looking around, it seems like there are 2 views about what this summer is going to look like. Some people are like, after this cold snap, it's going to be so hot. And then other people, like scientists and whatnot, are saying this is actually basically the beginning of a mini ice age, because we're going into a period of solar whatever. Like, there's very little sunspot activity going on. So, like, the next 70 years might be a little on the chilly side pretty much every year. So, we'll see what happens with that. Hey, don't kick my tripod. Come sit down. Over here. So yeah. In that case, cool weather crops might be a good option. My beets are actually doing pretty good. I would like some more turnips. I had some pretty crappy turnip seed from, I think it was Ferry Morris Company or Burpees, one of the 2. Something I got at Walmart, and it was pretty terrible. But I did get a few turnips out of it, enough to realize that I actually really like turnips. So I might get some turnip seed also. What do you think? Maybe? Either way, today's job is to spread the dirt. And it's not actually as cold out here as it looks. I was feeling chilly inside, so I overdressed. It's actually getting quite nice out. I mean, it's still a little chilly, but, you know, sun's coming out. Birds are singing. Toddlers are toddling with their bananas. He used to be my banana buddy. I don't like bananas. He changed his mind. Now he likes them. We also have a bunch of wild blackberries over here, which are all in bloom, so I'm pretty excited about that. They're looking like they're going to be quite productive this year. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. We're going on 9 minutes here of me just blabbing my mouth, which is a bit much. So, time to get to work and see what happens. Let's go. All the beds have been covered nicely with a good layer of soil. And now, dear friends, it is time for me to get on with the nitty-gritty work of deciding what is gonna go where, and if there's anything that I actually need to buy, or if I should just carry on with what I have. So, with pen and paper and some books for reference, visual stimulation and boxes of seeds to sort. A little bit of food for my thought, or for my thinker. I guess I'll go ahead and get this done. And I will see you all next week. And when things start growing, you'll get to see what I decided to plant. Have a nice week. Plant some more things. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you all again sometime very, very soon. Bye.